Hello everybody, Jonathan Rayo here with Simplified Guitar, and today I want to teach you one strum pattern that you can use for hundreds of songs, and it may be the only strum pattern that you will ever need. I'm going to include in the description down below and up there in the information card a link to a page that has 150 plus song tutorials that I've made that uses just this strum pattern. Now, unless you're a professional guitarist, you will probably never play more than 150 songs in your entire life. So that's why I say this could be the only strum pattern that you ever need, because you can use it to play all of these songs that you probably will never get to for the rest of your life. I mean, if you learn a new song every week, it's going to be years before you run out of material to use this strum pattern on. There's two reasons this strum pattern is so versatile. Number one, it's because it's in 4/4 time, which is by far the most popular time signature in music. And secondly, it's because it's so simple. It's very basic and bare bones strum pattern. So because of that, it can be applied to many different songs. And as a plus side, it makes it nice and easy to play. So let's go ahead and learn how to play it. Okay, so for this strum pattern, as I was saying, this strum pattern is in 4/4 time. So we're going to have 4 down strums, 1 down strum for each beat. And then we're going to strum up at the very end of the pattern, and that's it. Then we're going to repeat. Okay? So basically that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and. And that's the whole pattern right there. Now, where a lot of people will get tripped up in this pattern is the up strum. They want to put the up strum on a beat instead of in between beats. So they'll do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. That's not the pattern. The up strum is going to come in between beats. In fact, your hand is always going to be moving down on the beats and up between beats all the time. Your hand is always going to be moving at the same tempo. So if you want, you can always set a metronome to something super slow, like 50 beats per minute or something, and every time you hear a click, your hand is going to be moving down and strumming the guitar. And between the clicks, your hand should be moving up. Now, you're not going to be strumming the guitar when your hand moves up, except for at the very end after beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. This is a great way to practice this pattern, is to keep the strings muted so you're not thinking about chords as well. You're only thinking about the strum pattern. And while you're strumming, you count the beats out loud and you say out loud 1, 2, 3, 4, and. And that way your full attention is on this strum pattern. Now, once you get that down packed, that's great. You can play these songs just like that. But I want to bring it up a level just a little bit for those of you who feel comfortable with that, is to add some dynamics to the strum pattern. And that means to kind of alternate the intensity of your strums just to give the pattern a little bit more life. And the way we're going to do that for this strum pattern is that we're going to emphasize beat 1 and 3. So every other beat we're going to strum harder. And then beats 2 and 4 we're going to strum softer. So this is what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. One thing that can help is to get your body moving. So kind of like you can, what I like to do is lean forward on the emphasis and sway back when I'm strumming softer. And that's just a way just to kind of help my whole body be involved and focused on this strum pattern. It can just help you to nail these dynamics. Now, when it comes to the softer strums on beats 2 and 4, you don't even have to strum all 6 strings. In fact, that's a great way to make it sound quieter, is to not strum all 6 strings. So maybe I'm just strumming like 3 strings, or there's no hard set rule in this. I'm just strumming less strings and I'm strumming them quietly. Now, once you feel comfortable with the strum pattern, with your hand muting the strings and just focusing on the pattern, you can then move to try and play the strum pattern with a chord. Just pick a chord that you're very comfortable with, and one that uses all 6 strings, so you don't have to try to focus on not strumming the low E string, for instance. So some great chords would be like the G chord or the E major chord. Both of those use all 6 strings. So let's take the G chord, for example. I'm just going to play the G chord with this hand, and I'm not going to be transitioning to other chords because, again, I'm focused on strumming. But I want to hear the strum pattern now with a chord. So I'm going to play the G chord, and now I'm going to play that strum pattern, and I'm going to focus on those dynamics. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 1. And that is the whole pattern. It is very simple, but I would advise you to get the pattern set to memory before you begin to try to apply it to a song. So do what I was just doing. To practice the pattern by itself, counting the beats out loud, and really get it set to your memory, and then you can begin to try to apply it to a song. Because once you try to start throwing chord transitions in there and then trying to sing a melody on top of it, if you don't have the strum pattern set to memory, you're going to fumble. So you really want that strum pattern to be like riding a bicycle, so you don't have to think about it while you're playing chord transitions and singing the melody as well. Okay, if you want to try out this strum pattern with some songs, I'm going to include a library of over 150 songs that use just this strum pattern. Down in the description below, you can click that and find all of those song tutorials that I've made that use this strum pattern, and you can begin to try to use this strum pattern in some of those songs. And with over 150 songs to choose from, you can stay busy for quite a while. Hey, don't forget to visit my Patreon page where you can find exclusive lessons, worksheets, chord charts, live workshops, and a community of fellow learners. You can learn more and become a patron by clicking right up there or visiting patreon.com/Jonathan Rayo.